Classic Treasury. Magical Stories. The Old Man and the Gift. From Japanese Fairy Tales by THEODORA OZAKI. Long ago there lived an old man and his wife who supported themselves by farming a small plot of land. Their life had been happy and peaceful, save for one great sorrow. They had no children. They lavished all their affection on their pet dog, Shiro, even giving him more to eat than they had themselves. One day, the old man heard Shiro barking in the field at the back of the house. He hurried out to see what was the matter with him. Shiro ran to him and, seizing the end of his kimono, dragged him under a large yenoki tree. Here he began to dig as fast as he could, yelping with joy. The old man ran back to the house, fetched his spade, and joined Shiro in digging. Imagine his astonishment when he came upon a heap of old and valuable coins. He and his wife were rich. Now the old man had a horrible neighbor, and he did not notice that this nasty man was peering through the bamboo hedge and had seen everything. This neighbor began to think that he too would like to find a fortune. Days later, he sneaked into the old man's house and stole Shiro. He then took his spade and hastened to his own field. As soon as he reached a yenoki tree, he said to Shiro threateningly, "If there are gold coins under your master's tree, then there must be gold coins under my tree. You must find them for me. Where are they?" And catching hold of Shiro's neck, he held the dog's head to the ground so that Shiro began to scratch and dig in order to free himself from the horrid old man's grasp. The old man was very pleased, for he at once supposed that some gold coins also lay buried under his tree. He pushed Shiro away and began to dig. Soon there was a foul smell, and he came upon a stinking, rotting rubbish heap. The old man was utterly disgusted, but this soon gave way to anger. He stormed back onto his neighbor's land and set fire to the yenoki tree under which Shiro had found the coins. Imagine Shiro's master's horror when he saw that his tree was ablaze. In a panic, he and his wife ran to fetch water to put out the flames, but by the time they quenched the fire, the tree was charred and dead. The old man cut it down and saved an unburned, thick, sturdy branch. He hollowed it out and made a bowl. He thought that his wife could use it for making rice cakes in, to offer to the gods in thank for their blessings. But no sooner had his wife begun to pound the rice than it began to grow and grow till it was about 5 times the original amount, and the cakes were turned out of the bowl as if an invisible hand were at work. The old man and his wife tasted the cakes and found them nicer than any food. So from this time they never troubled about food. They lived upon the cakes with which the bull never ceased to supply. The greedy neighbor, hearing this new piece of good luck, was filled with envy as before, and called on the old man to borrow the wonderful bowl. The old man was too kind to refuse. Several days passed, and the neighbor did not bring the bowl back. So Shiro's master went to ask for it. He found his neighbor sitting by a wood fire. The wicked neighbor said haughtily, "Have you come to ask me for your bowl? When I tried to pound cakes in it, only some horrid smelling stuff came out. So I broke it into pieces, and now I am burning it." The good old man calmly said, "If you had asked me for cakes, I would have given you as many as ever you wanted. Now please, give me my bowl, even though it is but ashes." The neighbor grudgingly agreed, and the old man carried home a basket full of ashes. Just as he reached his garden, a gust of wind blew some onto his streets. It was late autumn, and all the trees had shed their leaves. But no sooner did the ashes touch their branches than the cherry trees, the plum trees, and all the blossoming shrubs burst into bloom, so that the old man's garden was suddenly transformed into a picture of spring. The story of the old man's beautiful garden spread far and wide. It even reached the ears of a great earl, who had a prized cherry tree that was mysteriously withering and dying. The earl summoned the old man to his palace to see if he could cure the tree. Of course, as soon as the old man scattered some ashes over it, it at once burst into full bloom. The earl was overjoyed that he rewarded Shiro's masters with many riches. He also gave them the title of Hana Saki Jiji, or the old man who makes the tree to blossom, and sent him with great honor. The wicked neighbor heard of the good old man's fortune and was filled with jealousy. He gathered together all the ashes that remained in the fireplace from the burning of the wonderful bowl, and went to the palace to tell the earl that he could revive dying plants too. The curious earl put him to the test, but the nasty neighbor's ashes did not cure dying plants. In fact, they caused blossoming plants to die. The furious earl ordered the liar to be thrown into the prison, and thus the nasty neighbor met with a punishment at last for all his evil doings. The good old man, however, with the treasure of coins, and with all the gold and silver which the earl had showered on him, became a rich and prosperous man in his old age, and lived a long and very happy life with his good wife and his faithful dog, Shiro. The end.